The Northwest Territory CPT. We are going to discuss 10 topics: the geological history, rock types, landforms, climate, soils and vegetation, bodies of water, national parks, tourist attractions, natural events, and the current news. Where it all began, the geological construction of the Northwest Territories is a complex history involving ancient tectonic activities during the Precambrian, extensive sedimentation, and mountain building events during the Paleozoic, continued sedimentation and orogens during the Mesozoic, and significant erosional and glacial process during the Cenozoic. Each era contributed to the shaping of the current landscape and geological features of the Northwest Territory. Through each era, Northwest Territories continued to evolve in every way, constantly creating new versions of itself, giving us the unique is an understatement when it comes to talking about the Northwest Territories, from its climates, rocks, landforms, and even soils. The lands, rocks which it is built on are mostly from the Cambrian to Cenozoic eras, being quite recent. This doesn't mean that all the rocks are from the past, but sometimes so much more. Northwest Territories, if properly looked examined, could notice how they could be close to 4.03 billion years old, almost as old as the Earth. And it just gets better. Northwest Territories is also so complex that its landforms having four different ones out of the common eight in Canada. So if you want to experience nature at its finest, this is where it's at. We got Western Cordelia, Canadian Arctic, Canadian Shield, and Interior Plains. A main part of Canada's complex climate is in the northwest because just in one territory it holds two different climate regions, mostly taiga, which averages -5 to 5 degrees, but way up north it could drop all the way to -4 degrees and below. But in the summer it could reach 10 degrees positive only in the most northern part though, so don't worry. In the northwest, the soil and vegetation is also special because it holds mostly boreal and taiga vegetation. But of course, tundra at the most northern parts will practically destroy any life, not allowing anything big to grow there. Our soils are very wet and moist, yet with the east side being extremely complex by the giant mountains giving this majestic land even more curiosity. If you think Ontario has Great Lakes, you have to go to the Northwest Territories. Like Lake Michigan isn't even in Canada, and all the other Great Lakes are all cut in half between the U.S. border. But in the Northwest, there are two giant lakes bigger than three of the known lakes: Huron, Erie, Ontario. In the Northwest, this is called the Great Slave Lake and the Great Bear Lake. Then there are two other mediocre lakes called the Eskimo Lakes and the Beaufort Sea. This is a dream for kayakers with many beautiful views in every direction you look. These big lakes are a backbone to the territory's fishing industry, with mostly trout and whitefish. These bodies of water are used to make this territory clean and healthy by using renewable energy resources. So in the Northwest Territories, there are three main hydraulic plants out of the many scattered around the territory. Snare, used to help power Yellowknife, Beshko, and Deto. Bluefish, which uses the power 20% of Yellowknife's electricity all on its own. Talton brings power to Fort Smith, the Hay River Reserve, Fort Resolution, and Enterprise. The Northwest Territory is packed with nature and parks throughout the territory. Out of many scattered across the territory, there are six which are must-haves. First, the Alkvik Nation Park. This Arctic paradise is a dream for paddlers looking to canoe the crystal clear Thompson River, Canada's northernmost navigable river. Most populated animal is a musk oxen. The non-stop sunshine from the mid-May to late June, July blankets the tundra with brilliant flowering fields. Nachicho National Park Reserve. The Nachicho meaning the mountain that's sharp like a porcupine, which is tucked beside the Yukon border, is comprised nearly 5,000 square kilometers of jagged Alps, hushed lakes, lively rivers, and creatures. Skilled whitewater paddlers will for sure enjoy. Nahanni National Park Reserve. The South Nahanni River, possibly Canada's most epic waterway. Four towering canyons, Virginia Falls. The whole park stretches across 30,000 square feet kilometers and the designated UNESCO World Heritage Site. Vadenani National Park Reserve, with towering cliffs and pristine waters that are home to world-class fishing and majestic wildlife. This ecological diverse area transitions from boreal forest to tundra and positively explodes with life. Clean and clear waters of North America's deepest lake flooding with trout. Tuktuk Noge National Park, meaning young caribou. The ancient Inuit archaeological site La Ronsia Falls, sprawling tundra utopia, and most visitors experience the park while paddling the canyon, the Hornaday River. Wood Buffalo National Park, bigger than Switzerland. This is Canada's largest park. The 44,807 square kilometer park comprises sweeping boreal forest, camping as well as cozy cabins, and no shortage of hikes. If you're not much of an action and physical type of person, then we could give you places which they give the view to you. On the Dempster Highway runs from Dawson City, Yukon to Inuvik in the Northwest Territory, offering breathtaking views of the Arctic wilderness, opportunities to see the northern lights, and a chance to experience the culture of the Gwinnett and the Invalids communities. Inuvik and the Midnight Sun, located above the Arctic Circle. Inuvik experiences 24 hours of daylight during the summer months. It's a great base for exploring the Arctic landscape, indigenous culture, and the nearby attractions like the Pingos and the Pingo National Landmark. Aurora Village, located near Yellowknife. This destination offers one of the best places in the world to view the northern lights, with well put experiences to enjoy the auroras in comfort, including heated viewing areas and cultural presentations. Practically no natural economy is left out when you're in the Northwest, from strong mining industries to extracting the rich oil and gases from the land. There is also a forestry and fish and wildlife which help bring income to the territory. There are many popular things to find in our caves like diamonds, gold, zinc, lead, and many more rare earth elements. The Northwest Territories forest timber as a resource, but relatively small compared to other parts of Canada. Many live through the territory to hunt and consume, like whitefish, trout, caribou, moose, and various fur bears. An example, beaver and marten. These bodies of water are crucial for drinking water, transportation, fisheries, and medical plants. Recently, if you've been hearing around on the news, Great Slave Lake has lost 20 centimeters of depth more than last year. This is a horrible issue that people need to start taking acts in because this once gigantic lake is slowly becoming drained smaller and smaller each day, which can lead to many misfortunes to the nearby cities and any location or life which uses this lake as a source of living. Here in the Northwest Territory, there's so much open space for you to discover and learn about. It almost never ends. Even with the limitations of our resources compared to other locations, the variety is in the Northwest is almost like no other. You could practically compare to the biodiversity from a rainforest and a normal forest. This territory will bring that bond with nature that you know you've been craving, an escape from the city. From gigantic parks with hikes, deep ocean to canoe above, and cultural traditions to learn from. This is the place you should go and want to go.